Awesome. All right. My name is Robin Whitworth with the Elevated Mother Experience. And I have my friend Brittany here, and she has been in our program for a little bit, and she's experienced some wins, and she wanted to come on and share kind of the experience that she's had. Brittany, give us just a little snapshot. Like, you have kids, you're married. Give us a little snapshot of into your life. Do you work? All the things.
Okay, yeah. So I have been married for 18 years and I have four kiddos. My oldest is 16, my youngest is 8. I work as a realtor. Um, I teach yoga. That's a little bit about me.
Awesome. And what brought you to the Elevated Mother Experience?
So I am definitely a professional development junkie. I like that world. I like pushing myself. I like goals. And I found that joining groups such as yours brings me a lot of support and accountability. And um, that was what brought me to you is just like, hey, I've kind of noticed that your space looks like a really bright space, like a kind of space that I would enjoy being part of, that I could grow in. Um, so I eyed your group for a long time before I joined, but that was kind of what brought me in.
So then you came in. Did you have any hesitations? You
Yes.
eyed the group for a while. What were some of those that you sat on?
Well, I definitely had to be sure the time window was right. I started in real estate in January. And so the first part of the year, I was very focused on learning a new career. And I knew that I wouldn't have the time to give it, even though I was interested in joining. But some of my more intense trainings and things had wrapped up by June when you offered a scholarship like you have right now. And so I just had to be sure I had the time. That was the first hesitation. Um, this might sound funny because I think it's probably a reason that a lot of people join you is, but I hadn't ever been in a group that, um, well, that's not true. I don't know. For a hot second, I was like, I don't know. I've learned from mentors who don't lead as a Christian, and somehow that felt safer for a minute for me. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
like like I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if I wanted. I didn't know if I wanted to be challenged in that way, or if I wanted that part of me and my faith to be part of my personal development journey, which sounds a little weird, but it was something that I had to decide, like, do I feel safe in my faith in this space? Am I okay with bringing my personal development and my um are you still there?
Yes.
I got a call, sorry. um like, do I feel safe bringing all of that into kind of a public, not public because it's private, but like into a big circle that I'm unfamiliar with, that for some reason felt vulnerable to me and I wasn't sure.
I
So like
really
I had
appreciate
to.
that you're sharing this because it's actually a common hesitation. Because there's women
Is
of
it?
all Christian faiths, and they say, well, are you going to preach to me in here? Are you going to
Yeah.
challenge my beliefs in here? So I really actually appreciate you bringing this to the table because it is a common hesitation that people be like, okay, so what did she find? Like, what was, like,
Yeah, especially if like you're feeling really happy in your faith and in the way that you express your faith. Like you're like, I'm not looking to shake that up, you know?
mhm.
And I want to grow and in all the ways, but like it was just kind of I've never engaged in a circle like this. I wonder what the fruits of that are, right? And so that was one thing that I had to kind of just sit with and be like, I think I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay to join. I think I'm okay to expand there if that's where this goes. But I had to kind of sit with that for a minute. And then I really wanted to pay for it myself. I've done a lot of coaching programs, and my husband has been the primary breadwinner for our family. I definitely have worked for a lot of years, but my income lately has not been the biggest source of our income. And I don't know, it was important to me that I pay for it. So I was kind of assimilating, saving, preparing for the cost of it. So that was another hesitation of just like, I've got to be sure I just want to pay for it myself. And I did. So yeah, those were my hesitations. I got over all of them happily. So
So was there anything that was particular that was either said or shared that helped you over any of those?
it's interesting because I had chatted with you quite a bit. I'd been in your space, chatted with Mary, another good friend who was a client of yours for a long time. But it wasn't until Megan Heward kind of called me out. She like we just became friends after teaching at that first retreat, and we just kind of would message back and forth a lot. And I would always be like, yeah, at some point I think I'm going to end up in that group. It was kind of always like, yeah, I think I'm probably going to do that. When the time's right, just kind of. And finally, she was like, well, so like, what's holding you back? Like she's like, it's a good thing. What's holding you back? And I think I aligned out all three of those hesitations, and she just kind of messaged me back and forth, and she was like, oh yeah, like, oh, I don't know. I don't even think she said anything. I mean, she definitely shed light on like what the group was like and whatnot, but I feel like just like listening to me through all of the hesitations, it was the key. Like once I just like said them, I was like, you know what? I'm okay with moving forward here. And then once I had the finances aligned, I think I was within a week or two of that conversation with her that I finally signed up. So
That's so beautiful. Gotta
yeah,
love Megan.
yeah, she's great.
She's beautiful. All of our team members are amazing. That's
Mhm.
awesome. And that's also a piece that some people worry about. What's the support like? Is it, really there? Or is this like, if I don't show up, people just leave me hanging? There's a lot of personal feelings that could be there. Tell us what you found then. You joined, you came in. What's it been like? What's been your favorite pieces?
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of the things that you've taught, just based on previous courses and things that I've taken, not, I wouldn't say, I'm sure there's some things that have been new, but a lot of it is just like the subtle tweaks that you have that were new for me, to like affirmations or visualization, like just little different lenses of looking at some of these principles that really help create amazing results. Those have just been so powerful for me. And so I've really appreciated just like, yeah, I mean, like a lot of people have heard about affirmations and visualization, right? But like just getting your perspective and ideas on it, I feel like has been really valuable. As far as like the course itself goes, those are some big things. And then I really have appreciated the variety of coaches and the access to so many different skill sets in your coaches within the program. I haven't been in a program that's felt so intimate. Like um I got kind of a slow start. Like I started in July, and it was like, I don't know, I just kind of was a slow start. And yet like I have like two or three of the coaches like messaging me like, hey, I haven't, so sorry, my gosh, I haven't seen you on the calls. I haven't how are your goals coming? Like just this like hand holding that I feel like in a different course I would have just slipped through the cracks, but like your team just like reached out and was like, hey, yeah, what goals are you thinking about? And like, do you have any questions? And that was, I think that's really special, because in group coaching you can so easily feel like a number and not I don't know, like that maybe they would feel bad that you weren't there, but maybe no one would notice or reach out. I don't know. But I just felt like that was really special. And then the different skill sets in the coaches, like, oh man, I really think a session with Christy would be good on this because I feel like I bumped into an identity thing, or, I've just like got some, I don't know, I just have this energy that's like not sitting good. I think I want to schedule a session with Shri. Like I just have loved the variety of access to coaches that you have. So that's been really cool. And uh I that's I guess that wraps up that thought.
That's great. What is maybe two of your most things you're just really proud of? I'm going to use that word. Like you're proud that you've shifted, changed, something shifted. When you came into this space, you've been a go-getter. You're someone that's not unaware of goals and discipline and all of those principles. And so I'm curious, what will you count as the biggest shifts that you've made learning the Elevated Mother framework and the principles? What's happened for you?
I feel like, and I like feel emotional talking about this, but I feel like there's, yes, two things. Number one, there's this space within me to trust myself more than I ever have. Like I think I always knew to trust myself, and yet like your program has just really brought that out in me in a way that I've never been able to express before. It feels like the shell of what I wanted was there, but like now the guts are with it too. And that's like, I don't know how to explain that, or how to even like how to point, or what principle like brought that out. But like that's been such a gift to just like have my own back, and to just be like, you know, a silly example is the other night, my daughter was out late and I was tracking her location on her phone, and I was irritated because you know how it like sometimes it doesn't update and you're like worry stressing about your kid or whatever. I'm like following their location. And it was like, what, it's fine. Like I can just like check in with my heart. I can just like, is my daughter okay? Yes, she's fine. I don't need her location to work, like so that's like a silly example, but it's um that's just this trust in myself to just have that inner knowing, and to trust my intuition, and trust that I can solve the problems, that are in front of me. And that's been the biggest one. The second one, of course, I'm like, no, what was it? Two things that I'm most proud of. The ability to sit in conflict. I actually had an affirmation about this. Like being able to lean in, sit in conflict until the clarity comes. I've been a person traditionally that has avoided conflict. I not my favorite to advocate for myself or others. I'll do it, but I don't like conflict. And so like being willing to just be more okay with that has been a huge shift in me that I really appreciate.
So these wins, this is kind of the last question. And when you think about if you personally, you've started to let that inner trust guide, like I can just let that be. And what is those two things you brought up? What does that look like for those outside of you? What's the meaning to you for your children to have a mother that has learned that?
Um, so I think it's amazing because I feel like it has helped me step into spaces of trusting them more.
Mm.
And, like my daughter was like, hey, should I take the AP chemistry test? She's in AP chemistry right now. And she's like, I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to need that class with the way that I think I'm going to go professionally right now. And my first response was like, well, what does your heart tell you? Like check in with you. Like, should you take that test? Do you want to take that test? And at the end of the day, she's like, you know what? I'm going to sign up for it. Like that makes sense. I'm going to take it. But in the past, I would have just been like, well, A, B, C, like spell it all out instead of asking her to like just check in with her. And I'm proud of that. I think it's huge for them to grow that own inner trust. So
And that same like sitting in conflict,
mhm.
helping our kids to see, what are your thoughts on that when they can sit in the discomfort?
I think it is so easy in this day and age to just numb the conflict out. And so I think it's incredible for them to have that skill that feel like I'm still a baby at learning. But yeah, no, I very much appreciate it. Life is just full of conflict. It just is. And so being able to verbalize that and sit with that and find the clarity. That's the gift of conflict. There's clarity on the other side. And I wish I had like I wish I had seen that sooner instead of just being like so ticked about it. Then I'm just like, okay, here I am. I'm gonna sit in it and wait for the clarity. Sometimes I still get stuck in it where I'm like, okay, I'm in the conflict. Where is the clarity now? But it always comes.
All right. So thank you. Thank you so much. I could feel your heart. There's a woman that's going to watch this, and she's probably done a lot of professional work. She's done personal development. She's been in other programs, but she, like you, it's just like, I have these few hesitations. I'm not sure. And she's really just like, could I grow in a space like this? Is this going to be beneficial? What do you tell her when because there's two ladies I'm actually thinking about right now that will watch this. Like, what do you tell them personally about this program when they have similar hesitations?
So this program is going to touch every part of your life. So you're not like previous programs that I've done, maybe were because I had like a strong business goal or I had a strong weight goal or, something like that. This is going to touch everything. And I think that's why it's so powerful is that, yeah, I can get on and I can bawl my face off about my real estate client that I don't know what to do with. Or I can get on and talk about like, I don't know what to do because of what something that my teenager is going through and the feelings that it's bringing up in me or the inner middle school that's bringing up by my 13-year-old, like it's amazing that it touches every part of your life. And I know of no other group that does that. And I'm grateful for it, for the emotional regulation kinds of skills in this course. Like there's just it's it's so broad and yet so effective in every area. And so I can't say enough good about it. I feel like it's worth every penny. I know it's a big chunk of change, or it can feel like a big chunk of change, but it's going to pay you back tenfold. It's worth it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any last wisdom you want to share? Have you laid it all out?
I feel like I shared my heart with you, but if you want to get more superficial, so many wins, so many wins, debt paid off, new carpet, beautiful new furniture, including a baby grand piano for a bargain of the price, 20 pounds of weight loss. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just, those are the superficial wins that feel huge, right? And yet, like, the things that I value are like the interchanges within me. So.
I feel like that's so common, and I feel like that's so exciting to be able to say. People go, I lived this long, and within a matter of months, these things came rolling in that were kind of on my heart for a long time, but I thought maybe other things should be on my heart. Like, it's so fun. It's been fun to be part of your journey just in the last few months. So thank you for sharing so
Yeah,
much.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Robin. I enjoyed this.